All right, so really quick before we get into spoilers, I know I didn't do a review for Severance season one or any of the previous episodes of season two, only because I caught up late. I didn't get to check it out until very late in the game, like this year. I'm very glad I did, but I just didn't want to put out an old review, while the new season was coming out, and thought I would just wait until the finale of this season to talk about it. But I absolutely became obsessed with Severance. I think like the rest of the world did, just a little later than most people, but thoroughly enjoyed it. Adam Scott is tremendous. The whole freaking cast is amazing. Um, I love Irv is probably my favorite character, played by John Turturro. Um, so many great people and faces and new faces for me as well. I love Patricia Arquette, uh, Britt Lauer, who plays Helly, Zach Cherry, certainly the best thing I've ever seen him do before, and Ben Stiller directing this, absolutely incredible. The writer Dan Erickson, the creator, he's hats off to him. Um, I don't know if he's really done much else, but wow, a very impressive show. I was pretty excited for the finale. I was hoping that, I guess my only issue so far this season was there's still some stuff that's left unanswered, but I felt like they they wrapped up some stuff pretty good in this one. Although no Irv, I was a little sad about that. But like I needed to know what the goats were here for. I felt like that was so random to me, and not answering that until the finale threw me off a little bit. I still want to know why Irv knew about the black hallway and the elevator, unless I missed that. Maybe you guys can help me, or that's still left unanswered. I want to know what Milchek's life is like outside of um, this place. What's it called? Why am I forgetting? Lumen. Lumen. Thank you. Brain. Thank you, Brain. But other than that, like I felt very, very satisfied with this season finale. Certainly was an insane cliffhanger, but overall was pretty blown away. But let's dive into some of it. So spoilers if you guys are not caught up with Severance. We're gonna dive into it. So please stop watching. First thing I noticed was like they jumped right into the opening title sequence. Um, Made sense being the finale, but I know that most of the episodes, I believe all of the episodes, had an opening scene or two, before they jumped into the opening title sequence. But I thought that was interesting. No, no, no strong opinion. I just noticed that, but I dug it. I'm curious to see how they change it for the third season. I honestly didn't expect them to change the opening title sequence for season two, but I thought it lives up to just as good to the first season's opening title sequence, which I didn't think you could beat. Somehow they still brought their A game to doing another amazing opening title sequence. But yeah, that whole conversation with Mark's innie and his Audi was pretty intense. That was a long scene, but super well done. I just started to get worried because I was like, yeah, they are so different. They have different priorities and they're just different people. Uh, kind of concerned about how stuff was going to go down from there. Um, but they make their plan. Uh, Cobell tells Mark about how the numbers are really his wife and her emotions basically, and that he's creating all these innies for her, which is pretty crazy that she has that many different innies. I was kind of not sure. Like, I don't trust Helly anymore. I can't tell if it's her or if it's Helena, but because I feel like Helena has access, as we saw, to the security cameras and she can see every conversation that they've had before. So no matter what Helly references, whether it's like what she said, the other states or whatever, or other places, locations, like that was supposed to be a Helly reference, but again, like Helena Egan has access to all the footage that her entire life, so she can copy that. You know, that's why I'm like, I don't trust. I can't. I can never trust her. Like, I don't know who's who. But what do you guys think? Do you think it was Helly the whole time, or do you think we saw Helena at all this episode? When Mr. Milchek gave Dylan his response from the resignation letter thing, and the way he handed it to him and then just started sprinting away made me laugh so hard. This guy is one of the funniest, weirdest characters. He drives me crazy. Mr. Milchek is an interesting one. Definitely a character that'll go down in the history books for me. Although I've kind of been waiting for him to like break. I feel like he's had these moments where he's felt like fucked over by the company and Egan, and we see them kind of like uh, verbally spar during that speech, calling him too, short and stuff like that. But then he like goes full dance mode, and when the marching band comes in, which is a crazy sequence, and Mr. Milchek is conducting the whole thing too. It just was confusing energy for me. Was he ever gonna turn and like help out Margus like full on? Like he's definitely broken some rules here and there, but yeah, he seems a little bit on off about kind of rebelling fully. But speaking of the marching band sequence, I was also thrown off by that shot where they hold the signs over their head. Uh, who's seeing that? The security cameras? Because Mark and Helly certainly cannot see it. Um, I don't know. But yeah, very, very funny. And they plan their escape. Helly locks Mr. Milchek in the bathroom. Mark gets out to go save his wife, who is building a weird, or no, she's not building. She's taking apart a crib for some reason. Again, I'm not fully understanding what does Lumen want with her. What are they completing exactly? How are all these different tests and with her different innies helping them? What is the goal of that? That's what I'm curious about, and hopefully we get an answer in season 3. I think I talked about the goats a bit, but I'm glad, even though it was very sad, that we got somewhat of an answer as to why these goats are being bred, and we get to see Gwendolyn Christie, I think is her name, again, which I love. She's amazing. I'm glad we got to see her more than once, and see her character kind of turn. And ever since he put the gun in her hand, I was like, shoot him. And thankfully later she does end up saving Mark, and she kicks the shit out of that one security guard guy, and helps Mark get to the basement. That scene where he switches from his innie to his Audi and the gun goes off. Oh my god. And it just jumps right into him, realizing that his Audi has never even seen what the inside of Lumen looks like, but he's got to snap and just lock in and focus on his finding his wife. And then we get to see Helly rally the troops of the band members and stuff. I mean, that seemed like a part maybe where it did feel like Helly, didn't seem like something Helena would do. But again, I'm just so like confused. She just keeps going back and forth with like, is it Helly or is it Helena? For me at least, that's just me. Getting to see Mark and his, the Audi Mark get to see Gemma for the first time was pretty powerful, and Adam Scott is just freaking amazing, and the girl who plays Gemma, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, Dishen Lockman, Dichen, Dishen Lockman, maybe, or did I don't know. I don't want to. I'm sorry, I already butchered it, but those two in that scene were stunning, just absolutely. I mean, they're stunning in every freaking scene. It's an incredibly well done episode. Um, and then them going back to Miss Casey and Innie Mark was also brilliant. And having to escape, and that that sequence was just felt like it lasted a millennia because it was everything you didn't want to happen. I mean, maybe you did. I don't know who you're rooting for. I'm rooting for Gemma, but I get that if Lumen ends, then the TV show Severance ends. I felt like it was a funny argument, like a weird fourth wall break of like they're talking about continuing the show. I feel like if Mark S stays, then we get more Severance. um, I don't know. Maybe they could do something if he had gone. I still think they could have made a show if he had walked out that door. I also think that he still could have bargained for the other innies to get like meshed together so that they can. I don't know. I don't know what the best solution is, honestly. What do you guys think? Is there a way for everyone to be happy, or is there a sacrifice that is or is not worth it? Um, but that decision, that dis- but that decision that Mark makes at the end was insane. I actually thought when Helly walked around that corner, I thought she was gonna say go be with your wife, but she didn't say a goddamn word, which made me again suspicious that maybe it is Helena. But I know that Helly loves Mark, so it could also have been, I don't know, the way she looked as she stared back as Gemma was pounding on the door made me suspicious too. What would I keep thinking? What would Helena want? She's doing everything that Helena would want her and Mark S to do. But anyways, I love that end sequence of them running in the hallway. The red light kind of going through that white hallway was one of the most visually stunning things I've seen cinematically. Ben Stiller, I tip my hat to you, sir. You absolutely killed it. And Dan Erickson for creating the show. Thank you so much. Cannot wait for Severance season 3. I feel bad for everyone who had to wait 3 years in between season 1 and 2. Again, thankfully I watched season 1 like a couple weeks ago and got to catch up and plow through season 2, which was really nice. But yes, hopefully we all don't have to wait for a season 3 too long. But nonetheless, very exciting show. Still a couple holes, it's not perfect, but I certainly love it. It blew me away. So would love to hear what you guys thought of Severance season 2 episode 10 finale, Cold Harbor. Was it satisfactory for you guys? Were your questions answered? What questions do you have remaining? What do you want to see what do you want to see happen in season 3? Let me know down below. Um, yeah, I have no idea what to expect now. And see, I want to find out, how much of this. I'm curious to know if any of Helly that we saw in this episode was Helena. That's what I want to know. But that's just me. Again, would love to hear what you guys thought. So stay tuned for more. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.